To begin, place one block at the top of your mat and one block underneath your sits bones in hero's pose. Bend your knees, sit back on your heels, bring your knees to touch, and make sure your inner thighs touch as well. Bring your hands on top of your heels like a ball in a mitt, and make sure that your heels rotate out away from your sits bones as your toes rotate in towards them. Sit up tall. If needed, remove the flesh out from underneath your sits bones so you can root down and reach up. Feel the threes, the left, the middle, the right, the forward, the middle, the back, above, middle, and below. Your inhales and exhales are expansive. Feel the 3D nature of your breath as it moves out in all directions. Close your eyes or find a soft gaze. And this is an opportunity to set an intention for your practice. What is it that you want to focus on today? This week, I've been focusing on being especially intentional with every move that I make in my practice, every angle I make, every motion that I take, everywhere I place my hands, my fingers, my feet. That is one option for an intention. Otherwise, choose something else that better suits you in this moment. We'll be here for a couple more rounds of breath. As you enter into your space, become present in this moment. Start to sit your weight back into your sits bones. Feel yourself in the past, and then shift forward. Feel yourself going into the future, and then go back again into the past, and forward into the future. And then try to find your middle, your present moment. It will soon become the past. And the next moment that seems like the future will pass through the present and also be in the past, history. Flicker your eyes open if they're closed. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands through heart center and then release your palms back on top of your heels. We'll begin a cat-cow motion, sitting here in hero's pose. On an inhale, your chest shines forward, gaze up towards the sky. As you exhale, round your spine, bring your belly back towards your spine. Inhale, cow motion. Exhale for cat. You can play around with the speed here. Go faster if you tend to go slower more often. Go slower if you tend to speed things up in life. This will help you find greater balance. And keep going forward and backwards, forward and backwards. Feel how this is energizing, lighting you up, building fire, building heat, stirring you up from the base. Take 10 more rounds of cat-cow, whatever pace you're going. And then you'll find stillness. Once you've taken those 10 rounds, start to rotate in the clockwise direction, forward to the right, back to the left. This is a motion of time. Going forward, right, back, left, forward, right, back, left. Once again, you can change around the tempo, go a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Try to feel all of your points of contact. And then start to go in the other direction. Forward to the left, back to the right, forward to the left, back to the right. You're getting around yourself, finding more space, taking up more space. Nice, and then go ahead and stop. On your inhale, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then remove your block out from underneath your sits bones. Come on to all fours, tabletop. Make sure that you have a 90-degree angle from your wrists all the way up to your shoulders and from your knees all the way up to your hips. You can use your block to measure if your block falls over, or if it's not touching your arm or your leg fully. You know that you're not at the angle you want to be at. So adjust as needed. Make sure that your hands are shoulder distance apart, your feet and your knees are hip width apart. And if you look back, you shouldn't be able to see your feet. The crown of your head reaches forward. On your next inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale is cat pose, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Now start to make circles with your hips, clockwise. And try to just do this in your lower body. So your arms and your hands stay pretty still. The weight is in your inner wrist creases, your thumb and your pointer finger. Bring the weight towards your knuckles to take weight out of your wrists. If your wrists start to hurt, that probably means that you're sitting back in them. So you're going in a clockwise direction with your hips. And you can change up the tempo with your hips as well, going faster, going slower. And then change directions, counterclockwise, forward, left, back, right, forward, left, back, right. Come back to tabletop on your inhale breath. Sit back into child's pose as you exhale. Big toes touch, knees wide. Reach your arms forward. Let your forehead rest on a block or on the mat. Are you staying with your breath? Have you kept your intention in the forefront of your mind, or have you lost it? If you have, bring your awareness back to it. And then we'll move into a spinal balance. So on an inhale, come back up to tabletop. Once again, stack wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Find your 90-degree angles. Your knees hip width apart. On your next inhale, right arm reaches forward, left leg reaches back. Try and level out your hips so your left hip is in line with your right. Sometimes we tend to bring our left hip a little bit higher than it should be. And then your thumb is pointed straight up towards the sky. Imagine you're reaching your right shoulder, your left hip away. Stay for one more inhale breath. As you exhale, knee to elbow, round your spine. Inhale to extend. And exhale to crunch it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, extend. Tabletop as you exhale. Second side, left arm forward, right leg back, breath in. Couple breaths here to feel your left shoulder and right hip pulling away from one another. Your left thumb is pointed straight up towards the sky. Level out your right hip with your left, flex your right foot. Stay here for one more inhale. Knee to elbow as you exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Knee to elbow, exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tabletop, release your wrist, release your knee. Take one round of cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. On your inhale, come back to tabletop. As you exhale, sit back to child's pose. Take 3 full breaths here. On your next inhale, come back up to tabletop. Exhale, down dog, send your hips high. Pedal out your feet, bend into one knee and then the other. Now in your down dog, you don't want to have too much of your weight in your hands. So you're always thinking about kicking your butt way up and back. And find the back bend. It's okay to bend your knees really deeply, to lift your heels up off the mat. Release your head, your neck. Couple rounds of breath in movement here. And then find stillness in your dog. Your fingers are wide enough to fit into gloves. Keep the weight in your inner wrist crease always. And make sure that your little finger, your fifth finger, isn't sticking out too wide. Bring it in towards your ring finger. That'll make it so your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Stay here for one more inhale breath. And stay for your exhale. On an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Find a halfway lift on your inhale. And forward fold as you exhale. Bring your feet hip width apart, which is about 2 fists width. So line up your fists in your arches. Make sure that your feet are that wide. And then look at the outer edge of your foot, and that should be what's parallel with the mat. So it might feel like your big toes are a little bit more in than normal. Feel your knees directly up from your heels, hips directly up from that. And your hands will just rest on the mat. It's okay to have a bend in your knees if your hands can't reach there without one. Keep thinking from the middle of your knee down is reaching down into the mat. From the middle of your knee up is reaching up towards the sky. So your heels reach down, your hips reach up. And then tuck your hands underneath your heels, your fingertips pointed forward. So you're cupping your heels with your palms. And then see if you can get your armpits and your knees. We'll be here for a few more rounds of breath in our first forward fold. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And then we'll take 3 full rounds of breath to roll all the way up to standing. Keep the bend in your knees. Once you get all the way up, reach your arms up overhead. And use an exhale to bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Find a halfway lift on your breath in. Step your left foot back as you breathe out. We'll hang out here for a couple rounds of breath in your first low lunge. Make sure you have a 90-degree bend in your front knee. Once again, you can use blocks here. If you line up the block from your heel up to your calf, that can help you see if you have a 90-degree angle. Make sure your legs, your feet are on 2 separate tracks. They're not stacked right after one another. And then look out, always look where you're going. On an inhale breath, find a 3-legged dog, reach your right leg high. And we'll hold here as well. You want to keep your hips as level as possible. Flex into your right foot. Stay here for one more inhale. As you exhale, release down dog, right foot comes down to your mat. Couple rounds of breath here in stillness. Keep pressing your hips up and back. Feel the weight coming out of your hands. And then bring your right hand to your sacrum, palm faces up. So you only have 3 points of contact now. Can you press into your right foot, your left hand? Imagine that your right arm is still extended forward. Imagine you still have 4 points of contact. And then release your right hand down. On an inhale, your right leg reaches high. As you exhale, low lunge, step between your hands. Inhale, low crescent, drop your back knee, untuck your toes, reach your arms high. Notice what's happening in your low back. Are you overarching, over-tucking? What's happening in your shoulders? Can you release them away from your ears? And can you root down through your lower body to reach up through your fingertips? Stay here for one more inhale. Exhale, half split, send your hips back in space. Flex into your right foot and straighten your right leg. Your hands can come to blocks here. You can keep a bend in your right knee. It's more important that your left hip stays stacked over your left knee and that you continue to root down through the top of your left foot and your right heel. Feel the length in your spine. Cross-reference your body, your right shoulder to your left hip, your left shoulder to your right hip. On an inhale, come back to low crescent. Exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, lift your back knee. Inhale is standing splits. Shift forward, your left leg reaches up off of the mat. Fold over your right leg. Try to keep your right knee in your right armpit. And release your head, your neck. It's okay if your left leg doesn't come very high. I like to bend into my right knee here. This helps me get my weight more forward. Get more of a release through my hip. Stay here for one more inhale. And stay as you exhale. One-legged halfway lift. Find a flat back. Keep your left leg lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Release your left foot down. Inhale, tall mountain, rise and reach up. Hands come to your heart as you exhale. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Find a halfway lift as you breathe in. Step your right foot back as you breathe out. Couple rounds of breath in your first low lunge on this side. Feel for the 90-degree bend in your front knee. Is your knee stacked directly over your ankle? And are your feet on two separate tracks? Notice where you put your weight here in your hands. Send your gaze out in front of you. Always look where you want to go. Come up high on your back foot. On your inhale, find a three-legged dog. Left leg reaches up and back and hold. Where do you have to press into your hands to be able to find balance between the two sides of your body? Are you bearing a lot of the weight in your shoulders, or can you send it up and back through your hips? Stay here for one more inhale. Release your left foot as you exhale. Couple breaths in your dog. Notice where the weight is, especially in your right hand. And then when you're ready, lift your left hand, place it on your sacrum, palm faces up. Press into your right hand, your left foot. Imagine your left arm was still reaching out. Stay for one more inhale. Release your left hand to your mat as you exhale. Left leg reaches high, inhale, breath. Exhale, step between your hands, low lunge. Low crescent, inhale, drop your back knee, untuck your toes, reach your arms up. What's happening to your low back? Can you press your pubis forward? Lift up and out of your back to find your back bend. Stay here for one more inhale. As you exhale, half split, send your hips back, straighten your front leg, flex your toes towards your face. Where is your right hip in relation to your right knee? What's happening in your spine? Are you rounding deeply? Or can you find more length and gaze forward? On your inhale, come back to low crescent, shift forward. Exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, lift your back knee. Inhale, standing splits, right leg lifts up off the mat. Weight comes into your left foot. Bend deeply into your standing leg to find knee to armpit contact. Release your head, your neck. Option here to bring one or both hands to your left leg to add a balance challenge, and then keep kicking through your right leg to reach it up towards the sky. On your next inhale, find a one-legged halfway lift. Crown reaches forward, find a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, right foot releases. Tall mountain, rise and reach up, breath in. Hands come to your heart as you breathe out. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Find a halfway lift as you breathe in. Step your left foot back as you breathe out. Three-legged dog, right leg reaches high. As you exhale, chaturanga, option to release your right foot or keep it floating. Inhale for an up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog, hips high. Right leg high, breath in. Step between your hands, low lunge, breath out. Inhale, low crescent, drop your knee, untuck, lift up. Exhale, half split, send your hips back. Low crescent, breath in. Exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, lift your knee. Standing splits, inhale, breath, left leg lifts. Exhale to stay and hold. Inhale, one-legged halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Tall mountain, rise up, inhale. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Inhale, tall mountain, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Step your right foot back as you breathe out. Three-legged dog is your inhale breath. Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale for your back bend. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Left leg high, inhale breath. Exhale, step between your hands. Low crescent, drop your knee, untuck your toes, reach up. Exhale, half split, send your hips back. Inhale, low crescent, rise and reach. Exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, lift your knee. Standing splits, float your right leg as you breathe in. Stay and hold as you breathe out. Single leg halfway lift, inhale breath. Exhale, fold forward. Tall mountain, inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Chaturanga, plant your hands, step or hop back to high plank, lower half or all the way. Inhale is upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. We'll be here for 3 rounds of breath. This is not a time to just relax and hang out. Your down dog is active, always pressing your hips up and back. On an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop top of your mat. Halfway lift, breath in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, tall mountain, rise and reach up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Heel toe your feet to touch. Inhale is Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg high, breath in. Step to your right thumb, lower your back foot as you breathe out. Warrior one, hips face the front of the room. Inhale, breath. Exhale, chaturanga, plant your hand, option to float your right leg. Inhale is up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg high, inhale, breath. Step to your left thumb, lower your back foot. Warrior one, breath in, arms sweep up. Exhale, chaturanga, plant your hands, option to float your left foot. Inhale is up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high, 3 full breaths in your dog. On your inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, heel toe your feet to touch, reach up. Exhale, stand all the way up, release your arms by your sides to Dasana. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, move through your flow. We'll meet back in down dog. Stay for one more breath in. Find child's pose as you breathe out. Big toes to touch, knees wide, forehead releases. And then on an inhale breath, walk your hands back towards your knees. Come back to hero's pose, Virasana. This is what we started class in. So you can bring a block underneath your sits bones to help elevate you, get your hips higher than your knees. Once again, make sure that your knees touch. Your heels rotate out away from your sits bones. Toes rotate in towards them. Your hands come in towards your heels. Then stay here for a moment. Reach your arms up towards the sky like a V, making a sort of triangle with your arms and imagining the top of the triangle above your head. Your hands are like cups. They're there to receive the grace of the universe that falls down towards you. We'll take 100 rounds of Kapalabhati breath. This breath is a normal inhale with a forceful exhale. It will sound something like this. So go ahead now and start your Kapalabhati breath. We'll do 100 of them. Count in your mind. You can keep your eyes open, fix your gaze on one point, or you can go ahead and close them. Take a big breath in. 3 more sips. As you exhale, pop the cork, your arms release, palms face up on your lap. On your next inhale, shift forward, make your way back to tabletop. Move the block aside. And then come back to down dog, tuck your toes on an inhale breath. Send your hips high as you exhale. On your inhale, right leg reaches high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, step between your hands. Simple twist, right arm reaches high. Inhale, your left hand is planted on your mat. Once again, check in with the space in between your fingers. Just wide enough to fit into a glove. Make sure your little finger, pinky finger, isn't too far out. Gaze up towards your right fingertips. Feel your right hip reach back in space. You're up on the ball of your left foot, heel stacked over toes. Stay here for one more inhale. As you exhale, release your right arm down. Inhale is high lunge. Arms sweep up, legs stay the same. Start to tuck your tailbone under, just enough to have a natural curve in your low spine, to feel the stretch to the front of your left hip. Your hips are right underneath your shoulders, fingertips right over shoulders. Crown reaches straight up and your gaze is forward. Stay here for one more inhale breath. As you exhale, come back to low lunge. Release your hands on either side of your foot. Inhale is low crescent. Drop your back knee, untuck your toes, reach your arms high. Can you find a little bit more depth here? Still keep the 90-degree bend in your front knee. Nice. Stay here one more inhale. Exhale is flying half splits. Send your hips back, straighten your front leg, arms sweep by your side, palms face down. Hug the pinky edges of both hands towards your midline. Your shoulders roll down your back. On an inhale breath, forward reaching lunge, bend into your front knee, come up onto your back toes, lift your back knee, arms sweep by your sides. Your palms face towards your midline, thumbs straight up towards the sky. Find length in your spine. Your crown reaches forward. Gaze is in front of your mat. Stay here for one more breath in. Airplane pose as you breathe out. Arms sweep by your sides. Lift your back leg. Find a back bend through your upper spine. Your chest, your collarbone reaches forward. Gaze is forward. Once again, hug your pinkies in towards the midline. Left foot is flexed. Stay here for one more inhale. Standing splits as you exhale. Single leg halfway lift, breath in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, tall mountain, rise and reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, tall mountain, look up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, plant your hands, step or hop back, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg high, inhale, breath. Step between your hands as you exhale. Simple twist, right hand plants, left arm high. Press into your inner right wrist. Your left fingertips reach so that you find as much length in your wingspan as you can. Your right hand reaches down, your left arm reaches high. Your left hip reaches back in space. You're up on the ball of your right foot. You're getting around yourself. Feel yourself twisting open. Gaze up towards the left. Stay here for one more inhale. As you exhale, release your left hand towards your mat. High lunge as your inhale breath. Sweep your arms up. Try and make your left thigh as parallel to the mat as possible as you keep your left knee directly stacked over your left heel. Do you feel the stretch through the front of your right hip? Stay here for one more breath in. Exhale, low lunge, release your hands. Low crescent, drop your back knee, untuck your toes, reach your arms high. It's an opportunity to get deeper into this posture. Maybe you even find a back bend this time as you reach up and out of your hips. Stay for your inhale breath. Exhale, flying half splits, arms sweep by your sides, pinkies hug in towards your midline. Where do you have to engage here to find balance and stability between your two sides? And where can you soften? Always finding the balance between grace, ease, and strength and stability. On an inhale, breath forward, reaching lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee, bend into your front knee, arms sweep by your sides. Your torso is tipped forward, engage your abs, hug your belly button towards your spine. Feel your ribs hugging in. Feel the support, especially through your upper body. Stay here for one more inhale. Airplane as you exhale, arms sweep back. Float your right leg. You feel the balance through the tripod of your left foot. Where are your shoulders in relation to your ears? Where is the weight in your front foot? Stay here for one more breath in. Exhale, standing splits. One-legged halfway lift, inhale, breath. Forward fold as you exhale. Tall mountain, rise and reach up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, tall mountain, rise, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Chaturanga, move through your flow. We'll meet back in down dog. Always an option. You can always skip and go straight there. On your inhale, right leg reaches high. Exhale, step between your hands, low lunge. Simple twist, right arm high. Inhale, breath. Exhale, release your right hand down. Inhale, high lunge, arms up. Exhale, right back down to low lunge. Low crescent, drop your back knee, untuck your toes, arms sweep up. Exhale, flying half splits, arms by your sides. Forward reaching lunge, move forward with grace as you inhale. Airplane pose as you exhale. Stay for your breath in, find length, crown to heel. Exhale, standing splits, release over your right leg. Single leg halfway lift, inhale, breath. Exhale, forward fold, left foot releases. Tall mountain, rise up, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Tall mountain, inhale, breath, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg high, breath in. Step between your hands as you breathe out. Simple twist, left arm up, breath in. Exhale, release your left hand, frame your foot. High lunge, arms sweep up just for a moment. Release your hands as you breathe out. Low crescent, drop your back knee, untuck your toes, arms up. Exhale, flying half splits, arms float by your sides. Forward reaching lunge, inhale, breath, arms sweep by your ears. Exhale, airplane, float onto your left foot, feel weightless. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, standing splits and fold. One-legged halfway lift, inhale, breath. Exhale, release your right foot, forward fold. Inhale, tall mountain, arms sweep up. Hands to your heart as you breathe out. Nice work. Inhale, tall mountain, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your breath in. One last flow as you breathe out. Step or hop back, lower down. Move through your back bend on your inhale. We'll all meet back in down dog. Take a couple of breaths in your dog. Notice if there are any shifts, any changes that you feel here. Anything that's different from the beginning, the middle, towards the end of your practice. On your next inhale, come forward to high plank. As you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly to set up for one round of locust pose. Bring your arms by your sides. Your legs come in towards your midline. Toes are untucked. Zip your legs up so that they're touching, they're close together. Your forehead or chin is on the mat. On your next inhale, roll your shoulders down your back. Lift up your head, as much of your chest as possible, your legs, your feet, pinky side of your hands hug together. Your gaze is out in front of you. You're looking where you want to go. We'll be here for 3 more full breaths. And stay here for 1 more breath in. And release as you breathe out. Stack one hand on top of the other. Let your forehead rest on the backs of your hands. Your elbows point out to the side. Bend into your knees. Windshield vibrate your legs from side to side. And then let your legs fall back towards the mat. As gracefully as you can, come all the way onto your back by just rolling over. Once you get there, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then release your left foot down to the mat. Your right ankle crosses above your left knee for figure 4. You can stay here or interlace your hands behind your left thigh or left shin. And lift your left foot off of the mat. That will give you a deeper stretch. Always flex your right foot and imagine that you are kicking it into a wall to the left of you. Try and keep your head, your neck, your shoulders on the mat as much as possible. Stay here for 1 more inhale. Then release your left foot as you exhale. This time your right foot comes to your mat. Left ankle crosses above right knee. Option to interlace your hands underneath your thigh or your shin. And be here for a couple more rounds of breath. Take 1 more breath in, and then release your right foot as you exhale. This time both of your feet come to the mat. They're about hip width apart. Your hands face down towards the earth, palms on the mat. Make sure that you can graze your heels with your fingertips. On an inhale, press into your hands, press into your feet. Find bridge pose, option to interlace your hands underneath your spine. We'll just be here for 3 rounds of breath. Stay here for 1 more breath in. If you have a bind, release it. And as you exhale, lower from the top of your spine all the way to the bottom. Bring your knees as wide, your feet as wide as your mat. Windshield vibrate your knees side to side. And then we'll finish out before Shavasana. Some really easy, gentle twists. So hug both knees into your chest, and on an inhale, bring your hips to the left. As you exhale, let your knees fall to the right. Your left arm comes out to a T, gazes over your left shoulder. When you move your hips over to the side before twisting, it helps keep your spine long and straight, and this will keep the twist through your back. On your next breath in, bring your knees back through center and hug them into your chest as you breathe out. Inhale, your hips come to the right, and as you exhale, your knees fall to the left, gaze is over your right shoulder, right arm out to a T. On your inhale, bring your knees back through center. Give yourself one final squeeze. Your forehead comes towards your knees. On an inhale breath, find a full body stretch. Arms reach up overhead, legs long, point your toes. As you exhale, find Shavasana. Arms by your sides, palms face up to receive grace. Your feet can be out wide. And today's class will end in Shavasana. And I'll leave you here so you can stay as long as you need. It's so important that we take time towards the end of our class, the end of our yoga practice, to be still. So much of our life is in motion, always doing. We always have a task, something to complete, even the task of doing yoga. These tasks help us feel purposeful. They give us meaning. Today, can you find the meaning in existence, in just being? And recognize that this moment is all that you need. So I encourage you to stay here for as long as you can, for as much time as you have today. Thank you for being in this space, in this moment, in this time to practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.